Well, and we are back, folks. Sorry for that brief interruption. It is low signal down in these fields. Both teams huddled up, and we do have Echo out on the field. They had their quick huddle, quick roundup of out in the field. We have Casey Kraus short left. We have Randy George deep left. Have Zach Turner out in deep center, Scott Hogwood short center, and short right is going to be none other than Darius Matthew DeBregand out in deep right. I have heard that Matthew is our youngest player out here today, Brandon, at 15.
Yes, he's 15, 16, one of the youngest players in the league. Has a very promising future ahead of him. He's one I've got an eye on to watch for this weekend. I think he's going to be a breakout talent, especially having the ability and the pleasure of hitting off of. Keep an eye on Matt. He's going to do some great things this weekend. I really think so.
So we have Team Grit's going to be starting up to bat, and starting up for them is going to be Zach Bueller, Eric Rodriguez, and number 3 up there will be Steve Patton as we head to the beginning of the first pitch for this first game here at Ultimate Deep Ball Tournament in Fairfax, Virginia. Wonderful cool weather. The sun is up like a beast already, though. Hopefully it will dry up all the moisture on the field. No clouds in sight, and Zach is up at home plate.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
so.
Mike's taking his warm-up pitches, getting ready. These fields are flat. Ball does roll true.
That first base check. Spotters for the Echo out there. Nestor Gonzalez and Jessica Nunziata. And going just over the top of that first swing. Booker calling out everywhere. Just underneath for another strike.
Everywhere now, everywhere.
We go with the final pitch here.
And he slams it out into deep left. Randy George running for that, and he's given up, and that's going to be a run for Zach at first base.
Yeah, Mike looked like he was trying to dial in his accuracy there with the over-under. Took him all through the full count there, fourth pitch to get it put in play. But it sounded like a really nice hit down the third base line.
Just inside fair, perfect placement. Casey could not get there. Randy George running for that, but he probably would have had a slip and slide on his hands if he had tried for that. He's going to bring up Eric to the plate, pulling out the bat out of his holster.
That is Eric pulling out Excalibur.
Excalibur, gotcha. Just catching the edge of that.
One strike. Play.
Almost an instant replay there. Just tipping off the top.
Two strike.
Here, Kalari over there yelling, stay focused.
And big boy.
3
Another
pitches, 3
edge.
tips.
3 strikes. Play.
And high pop-up going to be short left. Casey's trying to get under. It's over his head. Randy's coming up on top of it. And he's got that. That is going to be Randy George with the put-out on Eric Rodriguez.
11 men.
And that is what you're going to get all day here at this All-Star event. all-star athletes out there, knowing what to do at every moment, and you're just going to have some great and wonderful bang bang plays just like that.
It's going to be really fun to watch here because everybody's going to be on top of it.
So
down
we've
to
got
those
one run
final
in,
seconds.
one run in, one out.
Top of the first, Steve Patton, designated hitter. Something we're going to see a little different in this game, Brandon. They have 2 designated hitters, so there's 7 in the lineup.
Yeah, that is going to be one unique change.
Again, Steve Patton. And it's going to be a strike because that goes right just over the top of the center of the bat.
Steve has such a powerful swing.
Just underneath. I'm going to have to split that, put it right in between. Little correction from Mike. And almost a little late on that swing.
It's funny you said that because he just asked if his timing was okay.
And now it's going to go mid-right, just past Darius. And Scott coming over to grab that up. And that is going to be an out for Scott Hogwood.
Nice play, and that is definite all-star movement there. Midfielder coming over just like they're supposed to on the call to back up that shortstop over there.
It's going to send Kyle Lewis, left-handed batter. Blue jerseys with collar. All of the teams here have the same basic logo with beat ball on the front with their name in a badge, and only the colors are differing this. I'm going to give a great big thank you to our sponsors. We have George Mason University, Mind's Eye, and NBBA, or National Baseball Association. Getting that field set up as they adjust for that left-handed batter. Kyle kicking a little bit of grass there, so to speak, over the home plate as he waits.
And as you said, this is put on by the university. This is not an NBBA sanction.
Just sponsored.
Just sponsored by.
Just over the top. Ball rolling just past catcher Dale Bauer. And just going to be a short bouncing, barely fair, going to just barely past the Darius. He's fumbled it, and that's going to be a run for Kyle, just out of his hands. As you said, they're going to have to really keep control of that. Yep. It is slippery. Darius was up there on top of it, but just not getting control, just popped right out of his fingers.
And this is why on this field, until it warms up a little more, that's going to happen to you every time until this field dries out.
Have Demetrius Morrow, or Demo, up to the plate. And speaking of Demo, do you think we're going to see any home runs today, Brandon?
There are so many possibilities with all these athletes here. I don't see why not.
I am exceedingly hopeful for one.
I believe if we do, it'll be the first All-Star event where a home run's hit. We haven't seen a home run hit in any of the All-Star events.
That base check and call by Jason, ready to play. Just over the top. Just over the top again. Demo swinging for everything. Just underneath this time. Underneath this time. And that is going to be a strikeout for Demo. That's going to end the grits at bat. That's going to end the grits at bat. Bring the echo in to try to take up this 2-run in to try to take up this 2-run as we head to the bottom of the first. It is a 2-0 game. Grit leading.
And Randy George with the first put out of the game, followed up by Scott Hogwood making a second put out of the game. And then Darius could have had the third, but, wet field, wet ball. And then Darius could have had the third, but, wet field, wet ball. You gotta have good control when you're coming in to pick it up. The sun is beaming.
It is starting to.
The sun is beaming.
It is starting to blister. It is much cooler out here than being some of the other places I've been as played beat ball, but that sun is still merciless. It does not care. Played beat ball, but that sun is still merciless. It does not care. And I have a feeling that humidity later this afternoon with all the moisture out here and the heat is going to be something to combat. There's a lot of moisture out. It is going to be something to combat. There's a lot of moisture out there.
Yeah, being close to the coast elevates the humidity levels, so it's going to be a lot like when we were in Florida in 2017.
So out in the field for Echo, we've got, we got Eric in short left. We've got Zephyrin out in deep left. We've got Zach. Let's see. Let me get out there. Pretty sure that's Zach out there. Zach out in kind of deep center. I can't quite see who's short center because I've got catchers and hitters and pitchers in between me and there. Let's see. That's going to be Adam Rodenbeck out in the short center. Then we've got Rich. Let's see. Who is that? Not Rich Schultz. That's Evan in short right. And then Kyle Lewis out in deep right. And Gerald Dykus up to bat. A deep exhale. Jared checking to see if the field is set.
A little bit of road noise.
Catching just off the tip of the bat, and that's going to probably, that is foul. Gerald caught that as soon as he took 3 steps out, and you can hear how it was coming down.
Oh, yeah. Good placement right there on the top half of the bat. Jerry's just got to make a minute adjustment just to barely bring that ball down, put it in play.
And it's just going to barely catch off. He's almost stepped on it, and he's running into the field. They've called stop. Almost a collision there between Gerald and Eric. Ball not quite making it past that 40-foot line.
So out of all the athletes here, I believe Gerald is going to be our fastest base runner for this weekend.
Gerald headed back up to home plate. He had almost stepped on that ball out in the outfield as he curved in a little bit before adjusting out. Setting back up at home plate.
Play. Set. Ready. Pitch.
Look at that pass. Hands back up at the ready on the bat over the shoulder.
Set. Ready. Pitch.
High pop up. It's going to be into deep center. Zach's going to have to get on top of that. Coming back. And nope, that's going to be a run for Gerald.
Oh, yeah.
It's not quite there. Kind of landed right, just barely to the side of Zach. And Adam was running back to help him up, but not in time. Gerald already there.
Yeah, Gerald definitely showed off that speed right there. Good clean base run that time, rather than the previous run where he was zigzagging down the line a little bit.
Echo are wearing black jerseys, black with orange edging, and Casey is up to the bat. Speaking of orange, Casey's got some bright neon orange shoes as well as socks. Bonzi over there adjusting the speaker on third base. Looks like he's performing surgery there.
They're trying to push that buzzer
to the speaker.
out towards the outer edge of the foam so it's louder. If it gets pushed in by these athletes, tackling it down, it gets pushed in and dampens the sound.